Yo.
Yo! Hey everybody, hashtag WrestlePals. I'm your hashtag WrestlePal Justin, and what's up? I'm angry about it. We're gonna talk about it. Hey, this is your weekly dose of ... stupid. And it's especially stupid when it's just me. I'll do my best. How's everybody doing tonight? Are you angry? Are you angry? Are you really, really angry? Are you angry about it? We're going to talk about Hell in a Cell. We're going to talk. It was a big week in wrestling. 2 huge weeks in a row. So I'm here for it. We had the big season premieres of Raw and SmackDown last week. We had AEW, we had AEW Dynamite, and we had NXT's first full show on USA. We also had Hell in a Cell, and we also had NWA Power, which I did not get to. I will, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about it a little bit next week. Since it's just me, I'm pretty much going to do a straight up and down rundown of everything. But while I'm here, patreon.com/ohhijustin is a great way to support me and help my brain not explode, especially on days like today where I'm all by myself. All right, so let's talk. Let's get the monkey off our backs. I'm gonna basically do just a rundown here. I'll give some thoughts here and there. I honestly disagree with almost everybody. I didn't love Hell in a Cell. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I thought it was a decent pay-per-view. My biggest gripe was the fact that there was 3 matches going in, and the matches kind of literally just got thrown together before they went on. Now, that being said, all the ones that just got thrown together before going on still delivered. They were fine matches. Nothing was going to top the first Hell in a Cell. And I guess we'll start there. Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. And holy hell, they beat the hell out of each other. Easily match of the night, and just tremendous. And nobody loses any steam from that. Technically, Becky gets the win, but she puts over Sasha big after the match and the next night on Raw, talking about how Sasha beat the hell out of her. So that's good looking out by Becky Lynch. I didn't take many notes here. I was pretty invested in all the matches. Like I said, considering what it was fine. Way better than I thought it was going to be, even though I love every part of this. Bryan and Reigns versus Rowan and Harper was a very solid second match. You have a match like Sasha and Becky in Hell in a Cell, and you think, well, this is going to be an automatic dip. There's no way that this is going to be any good. And it was fine. It was a really good match. I think Harper and Rowan are set to do some pretty big things. Interesting to see how long this Reigns and Bryan thing lasts. Is it because it sure felt like it was going to be Bryan going right back to turning on Reigns and being bad dude, but he didn't. It's weird seeing him kind of as a good guy again. Are they going to run with that? Is that just because we need more good guys and now the shows are going to be a little bit more separate? Draft is this Friday. Ali and Orton. Now, again, this is one of those matches that just got thrown on the card last second. Way over delivered. It was really, really good. I was invested in as far as this was a wrestling match, and I enjoy both of these players, but there was no story to tell. Ali had that really cool reversal to the RKO. That's a big takeaway from that match, but solid showing from Ali. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Surprising here, a bit of a bad guy turn there from the Kabuki Warriors, and I like it. A lot of old school green mist from Asuka. I'm into that. And then they dive into it a little bit further on the next night. You see Kairi's not necessarily abandoned the pirate thing, but she's definitely not coming out dressed as a pirate. And even though I love Pirate Princess, don't get me wrong, I'd like to see some evolution, and them coming out and just yelling in Japanese was wonderful. I freaking loved that. And they're the new tag champs. So hopefully they get a decent little run with that. And it looks like that's not over either. So finally, it looks like maybe an actual feud for the Women's Tag Team Championships, because Cross and Bliss didn't take it laying down. They came out the next night. OC, here's another one that kind of got thrown together. The OC versus the Viking Raiders and Strowman. I don't get it. Didn't hate it. Strowman threw the big right hand to knock Styles out towards the end. He knocks Styles out stupid. Corbin versus Gable was tremendous. I loved this match. And Gable gets another win here against the Burger King, the would-be Burger King. Charlotte versus Bayley, this one got added maybe the day, I guess it would have been Saturday, because Charlotte actually submitted Bayley on Friday Night SmackDown. So they added that Saturday. So it was the fourth match added. And a really good match. Charlotte gets her 10th championship. Interesting. I guess this is to push Bayley further down the rabbit hole of being bad dude. I can only imagine that's the case here. Because why else have her even have the championship if this was the plan? And then we're going to talk about the main event here real quickly. I told you, we're moving quick tonight. I'm trying to posse up in a bit. The main event was The Fiend versus Rollins. Everybody hated this match, including everybody there. I did not. And as we get further away from it, I'm actually growing to be kind of fond of it. I can understand everybody in the moment not liking it. But initially we see Fiend just destroying Rollins, and that continues for a good while. A couple fire-ups here and there from Seth, and then eventually Seth gets in a stomp, and then he gets in like 20, like just trying to obliterate the Fiend, and the Fiend just will not stay down. Seth tries every trick in the book to keep him down, chair shots to the head, tables, just whatever he can. Eventually getting out a sledgehammer, and the ref asks him exactly that's what he did. The Fiend exposed Seth. He saw him. He was in his head, man, and the Fiend made him do something awful, and he just laid there and played dead. And then as soon as the match was called, he gets up and puts the mandible claw in, and it was awesome. In the moment, I was like, what the H? And then when I see the Fiend get back up, I'm like, oh. And then later on, to kind of further my thoughts on it, Bray tweets out, revenge is a confession of pain. Hashtag I saw you. And it immediately clicked in my head that that's what he was doing. He was exposing Seth, like Chris said. That's fun. That's fun storytelling. Does it make for a great main event? I don't know. Like, does it make for really good TV? I found it compelling, but most of the world like wholeheartedly disagrees with me. I guess I can understand. It was the main event and everyone was expecting the Fiend to win, but I've been of the mindset that I don't want the Fiend to want a championship. So what would he do with it? The best you could hope for is a Brock situation where he kind of comes and goes as he pleases. Now, could that be done better with Bray and the Firefly Funhouse? Sure. I don't know. It looks like we're gonna get more of this maybe, and they gave us nothing on Raw. They gave us nothing. They barely even talked about that match. Mostly, I assume, because of the reaction it got. I'm curious to see what ends up happening on Friday. If we get any, because Bray feels like a ratings draw. Like where the Fiend right now is a ratings draw. And I think his act plays better on Raw, where it's supposed to be bigger, more circus-like. And the idea, I guess, for SmackDown is supposed to be more sports-like. We'll see. Again, it'll start shaping up come the draft. But it's interesting to see because if he's definitely making the company money. If he's a ratings draw as well, we could very well see him on SmackDown, and that might be why they did what they did. He exposed Seth, and now he's gonna get drafted over to SmackDown. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Hell in a Cell was a fine pay-per-view, but ultimately, here's where I lie with this, and I've been on this side with Hell in a Cell, TLC specifically. We don't need them. Extreme Rules, we don't need them. Even when they're serviceable pay-per-views, which is becoming increasingly rare, they don't deliver on the name that's promised. If Sasha and Becky were the only Hell in a Cell match on Sunday, I think maybe it's a better outcome come the main event. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they do. We'll just have to see where they go from here. So that was the pay-per-view. I heard Fox would love to have the Fiend, but Heyman is in love with the character. Yeah. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know where the Fiend goes. Like, this will be. So the draft is always an the shakeup is always an interesting time because you want to see who's going to go where. But there's more at play this time because they keep saying this, and I believe it to be 100% true. The networks have a say. USA and Fox very much are going to be like, no, we want this person and this person. So it will be neat to see how that plays out. I got to talk, I guess, about, where did I put it? I must have put it in random. This guy. The whole pay-per-view was fucked from the get-go. 4 matches? Seriously, how long was the pay-per-view? 3 hours, and they only had 4 matches. And then they also fucked the main event up. The whole show was an utter failure from what I've read. I forgot I screenshotted that. That was somebody on a Facebook thread. I initially agreed with them. I was like, yeah, seriously, like how do they only have 4 matches? And then, but they didn't only have 4 matches. They just only had 4 matches announced. So maybe give him the benefit of doubt. He just forgot that. And then he basically said, well, I didn't watch. Okay. And not only did he not watch, he read about it. There we go. Here's my AEW notes. don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, because I definitely had some preconceived notions going in. Ultimately, here's my thoughts on AEW. I think it's going to be a great show. I really think it's going to be a great show. I think that they have a tremendous upside. And as a first episode of Dynamite, I thought it was good. I really did. But as I was watching it, first of all, it had a pay-per-view feel. And that I don't agree. I don't think it's lovely. I think they have a bright future, absolutely, and they have plenty of room to grow. Well, I mean, I guess that also depends on what you like. I have not seen AEW Dark yet, but I need character, and there was practically zero character on the first episode of Dynamite. And if that's the direction they want to go, cool. There's plenty of people who are going to love that. I think they're going to reach a great audience, and I think again, it was a good show, but there wasn't enough character for me. And I don't know, man. That's the thing. It didn't feel like change to me. When I'm watching it, it felt like, now I'll give it this, whereas TNA, and I'm using that name deliberately, TNA used to feel like WWE Light. At least AEW didn't feel like TNA Light or WWE Light. But it did have a WWE feel. Like it didn't feel all that different to me, other than the cast of characters. And they gave me nothing, no kind of character for me to go, that's my dude. That's the guy I want to get behind. They have plenty of time to do so. I'm definitely not out. But again, I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was a really good episode, and a solid way to start. But I think once we get to Full Gear, on the other side of Full Gear, I think they're really going to shape towards what they are. And I again, tremendous potential here. And I just would like, here, let me read some of these notes. On my first note, we get it, JR. You can say bastard. Jesus, that's a stupid thing to keep repeating. Just say it. You can say it. Just say it. I don't need to hear. Oh, it feels good to be able to say it. I don't need to hear that. Okay. I hope video packages for TV matches is a one-time thing. I still don't like Sammy Guevara. But I don't want to say I came around on him, because that's not true. But I love that they finally steered into the bad guy thing, because at the end of that match with Cody, they shook hands and it looked like he was going to remain good guy. I was like, I want to hate that guy, so just let me hate him. Come the end of the night, as you know, now we're going to get to hate him. So that's a big plus for me. Wins and losses count. I get it. They kept going over and over that. I hate the showing of the record. I hated that. I thought it was stupid. If and when WWE finishes a match with an inside cradle, they get destroyed. I don't even know which one felt a little long, but it was a solid match. Final thought here. Final thought. As a first show, great. Pay-per-view feel is going to be a hard pace to keep. Lack of character development is a tad troubling. Most of my issues are forgivable. I think post Full Gear, they will have something tremendous on their hands, but I remain firmly in the I really don't think it's for me side of things. Definitely not must watch, which was the biggest thing. It didn't feel like must watch. It felt like I could have easily skipped that and been A-okay. Maybe I don't feel like I'm being too critical either. I feel like I want to love it. I want to, because everybody does. And I don't know, maybe I'm just, I don't know. I feel like I'm easy, like I'm an easy get. So I don't know. I tell you, I'm really excited to watch NWA Power. Like, I wanted to get to that today before the show so I could talk about it. But I didn't get a chance to. NWA Power looks like my jam. because it's got that old school look. It's an old school studio show, but it's got a new school flair. And I'm just really curious to see what Lagana and Corgan have done here. They've collected they've got a nice collection of talent. I want to see what they've done. So I'm looking forward to getting a chance to finally. I might do it at work tomorrow. Depends. If it's slow, I'm watching that. Couple notes about NXT. I didn't take too much. Balor's NXT, which was big, and Tommaso Ciampa's back. And see, with that, like NXT felt like must watch. Like I felt like I couldn't miss it. We had the awesome match with the Street Profits and Undisputed Era, and between Ciampa coming back and Balor coming and being Riddle and Cole was unreal, and that was can't miss. And by the way, if you didn't see that match, go out of your way and watch at least that. What else happened this week? Like I said, NWA Power. What did they advance on Raw? Not much. Raw wasn't great. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't great. I don't know what we're doing here with this Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman thing. I mean, obviously setting up for something between them, but we didn't get a chance to talk about the first SmackDown either. Just briefly, they clearly have a lot of trust in Becky Lynch. Actually, let me take that even a step further. The Rock actually requested to work with Becky Lynch. So initially that segment was supposed to be Rock and Corbin, but he goes, I'd really like to work with Becky Lynch. That, to me, says something. You look at who she's been able to work with in the time since she started skyrocketing up, between Cena, between Edge. So Edge was first. Edge, Cena, Rock. She did Austin's show. Like, that's pretty cool. I feel like she's a lot further than anyone expected, and that's just tremendous. That's amazing. You know, I don't. Here's a note. John Morrison signing WWE. I haven't seen any official news on that. We also got all the new announced teams. We talked about that last week. Roosh is the new ROH champion. I still feel like ROH is missing that person, that one person that makes me want to watch. And Dalton Castle could have been that guy, but he wasn't. Like, that's the problem. He had it for a bit, and he still wasn't a guy that could make me watch that show on a regular basis. I don't know who that person is. But it's not Roosh. I like Roosh. I've seen him a couple times on, I think, definitely MLW for sure. And maybe possibly he showed up on Impact. Impact is the one that I'm hating, that I'm missing, because I feel like every time I've given it a chance in this most recent era, I've enjoyed it. I just wish I could devote more time to it. But both NWA Power and Impact are now going to be on Tuesdays, which Tuesdays are open, but between Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Wednesdays being WrestlePals, which means usually Thursday and or Friday, I'm catching up on AEW and NXT. When am I supposed to fit in? I can fit in NWA because it's only going to be an hour. And at least for now, they're putting it out on YouTube. They just want people to see the show. So it's out on YouTube. So I've got the link. I just need to make an hour worth of time to be able to watch it. Jinkies. I'm just running my face here. I know everybody else is mad about Hell in a Cell, but I'm just not. I'm very curious to see. I'm just a happy wrestling fan right now, man. Like, ultimately, like, what a time to be a wrestling fan. Seriously, like, to have WWE is clearly on an uptick. You know, even if you want to completely pan Hell in a Cell, I think for the most part, they're on an uptick. AEW with tremendous potential. Some people have already bought in. NWA is back. Impact is better. ROH, but then there's always New Japan on the horizon. Like, what I love about New Japan is that I can just jump in whenever. Like, whenever I can catch it, I catch it, because I don't need to watch all of it to, keep it all together. I can just watch Wrestle Kingdom if I want. I can wait till January, watch Wrestle Kingdom, and I'll be fine. And as a matter of fact, I might do that. I like catching the Dominion here and there, and actually, usually those are the only two I watch: Wrestle Kingdom and Dominion. But that's all I need. I get to see the characters I like, and I get to see some solid matches, and for me, that's it. That's all I need. But this is just an amazing time to be a wrestling fan, and I've officially hit the wall, y'all. I say that, but now I'm going to run my face because I got to posse up. I got to play some Red Dead. I got to shoot some people. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go do that. And if you want, I think I might hop on the Twitch for that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do that? Who you guys don't care. That's fine. Sorry, trying to figure all this out. Wild boars. Wild boars, wild boars. All around me. All right. I know. It was a quick one. That's fine, right? I was here. I'm here. I don't know. If nothing else, you can count on a show every week. I don't know when we'll do another full one. I may start scheduling some interviews or something. I don't know. If anybody sees Nathan, tell him I said hello. Oh, that was mean. I shouldn't have said that. I love you, Nathan. I miss you. But hey, we're your hashtag WrestlePals. You guys know that. If you aren't, like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlePalsVA. You can also follow us on Instagram, on the gram as it were. And on the gram, I think we're just WrestlePals. Let me open up the gram. What the hell? We're also on Twitter at WrestlePalsVA. And indeed, it is WrestlePals. It says Impressed by Wrestleman. That's our name. So hit us up on any of those. Patreon.com/oh hi Justin would be a great place for you to support me. It also indirectly supports your hashtag WrestlePals program. $1 a month gets you everything that I'm doing, all of it, including the stuff, the super secret project that's coming up. Also, subscribe to the pod on all the channels. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Stitcher. All those places you can listen to us if for whatever reason you don't want to watch us. I understand that. It's cool. Although I'm looking very handsome with my haircut, my beard looking all right. I'm looking good. I'm officially 40 pounds down, y'all. Look at me all svelte. I will be soon. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Patreon.com/oh hi Justin. Subscribe to the show. You can like and follow us on all the socials, all that stuff. And as someone might say, God damn hashtag WrestlePals.
So I pick him up and I'm gonna carry home. But he a mean dog, bit me in the spare rib. And I'm take him home, put him in the baby crib. Yeah, I don't know the words, AJ Styles. You know what you are? You're phenomenal. Phenomenal.